Yeah.
You okay?
18 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. Good night to you again, and welcome to the In the Spotlight radio show. Whatever medium you're using tonight to listen, it is a pleasure to have you. You could be listening via www.ysq95da.com. You could be viewing live on the Q95 Facebook page, and you can also view live on my Facebook page as well. And for those of you listening on 95, good old-fashioned 95.1 FM, good night to you. Thank you for tuning in as well. Before I start the program tonight, I really wanted to do this a little earlier on. Something happened this week. I'm going to put myself in the spotlight for just a few minutes before I begin with my guest, Lady Regina Walsh is what I call her. She's my guest tonight on the In the Spotlight radio show, and we will start with her in just a while. But I'm going to put myself in the spotlight for just a bit of a moment. So a couple of days ago, I posted something personal, you could say, on Facebook. And I had a reason for posting this on Facebook, because I was hoping that I could reach a couple other folks who were probably in a similar situation as I am in terms of what it was that I post about on Facebook at the time. And interestingly, I got quite a bit of feedback in the comments on the Facebook page, and also quite a few persons inboxed me to speak to how what I had actually written had inspired them to begin their own journey. The title of what I wrote on Facebook was The Beginning of a New Journey, It Is Never Too Late. And really that spoke to me, starting a journey in my educational life, if you want to put it that way, somewhat advancing my knowledge, advancing my education. And I spoke to, having left sixth form college quite a few moons ago, is how I termed it, which is quite a while ago, and wanted to pursue studies. And I could not at the time, because I did not have the means for someone to cover the interest while I went off to study. So at the time, I think my dad wasn't really working, my mom was not in a position to help, and I didn't really have anybody to assist. And so I had to shelve my dream of going to study at the time. And then I went on, I worked at the Chronicle newspaper, I went on to DBS radio, and then I landed a job that I love at Cable and Wireless Dominica, with trading as Flow. And one day was a Saturday evening, and this is the truth. A Saturday evening, I was sitting in the office. I didn't have my vehicle. I had ordered a vehicle. It had not arrived as yet. And I was actually waiting for the taxi to come pick me up to drop me home. The gentleman was running late, and very late at that time. I had already packed up my bags, and I was ready to leave. And he told me that he would be about half an hour late. So I was there aimless, and just there immersed in my own thoughts at the time. And this thing about wanting to pursue my studies came back to me again. But this time, it just something about it, and my guest here says to me, it was the spirit. Something about, what was it?
Nothing is lost.
Nothing is lost in the spirit, she said to me. And I went back on the computer, and I went onto the UE website, and I searched programs and all of that. And I landed on, I said, okay, I'm going to do management studies with a focus on marketing. By Monday, I got all my documents and I filed my application. And the long and short of the story is, I'm beginning a degree at the University of the West Indies Open Campus here in Dominica. And that is quite a few years since I've left sixth form college. And again, I'm sharing it here again this evening because I want anyone out there who is listening and feels that, it's too late for me, I have passed this time in my life, I have a good job, I am okay, I'm surviving, and it's not necessary. I want to say to you that it is necessary. And once you are able to, you should do it. Start now, decide tonight, I'm going to do this for me. Do it for yourself, not for anybody else, but for yourself. The feedback on Facebook was phenomenal, and people, simply because I was able to get people to say Fidines, I could read some of those messages, but it's not really about me tonight. But I really just wanted to share this because I want to have that impact on somebody who can make up their mind tonight and say, I am going to do this. I am going to do something for me. I am going to advance my education. And for those who are probably procrastinating about it now because they feel they're young and they have time. No. Time waits for no man. Now is the time to do it. Once you're able, you have the ability to do it, get a scholarship. Do what you have to do, but get it going. I just really wanted to share that before I begin the program tonight. And again, as I did on social media, I hope through this medium as well, that I can inspire somebody to take that first step. All it takes is for you to start. Take that first step, start. You can have all the knowledge, all the experience, all of that, and you do not have what they call the paper to go with it. Then, you certainly would not be able to probably at some point move on, make other career choices, and just have the liberty to move probably freely as you would probably want to. So again, just to share this with you tonight, I didn't want to wait to share it because I think it is that important. So if you cannot get in this semester, try for next semester, but make that move and make that start. It does not have to be UE. It could be any college, any university. It could be starting with a kid, anything. Just do something. 25 minutes past the hour. I stole some of Regina's time, but I know she understands because I shared that story with her when we met on Saturday, and I know she understands, and I know she does not mind that I took some time to share that with others as well on the program tonight. So we are going to take one quick break, and we're coming back to talk with Lady Regina Walsh. Keep it locked.
In the spotlight on 95 FM radio.
That was a nice intro.
I had to do this.
In the spotlight,
Yeah.
featuring
See, we have someone here as well.
walks of Tony tonight.
Very popular.
Oh yeah. Aspirations, untold stories, touching the human and personal side of all people in politics, religion, sports,
He was one of the people that makes me.
culture, the media, and more. Getting to know our farmers,
Huh?
public servants,
We seen you.
Yeah.
So
listen to the story.
Anyway, so we track it, we can give them guess. Bring them over here.
my mic.
Yeah, move down. The camera's speaking like this. Bring it down. And bring on the mic. Bring the boom down and bring on the mic.
And relevant
Let's
situations.
see it.
Don't miss. In the spotlight.
Yeah, it's good. I can see you here.
Yeah.
You can see me.
Every
Yeah.
Monday night
Yeah.
from
I know.
8 p.m. In the
Bring your mic up.
spotlight.
Yeah.
So you have to adjust that camera then if you don't want to. If you don't want them to see.
Huh?
Not that camera you have to adjust if you don't want
No,
to
no,
see.
no. Your camera picking my back, So I love that for the show.
Our camera picking up this one. Not so much
She
showing.
broke it,
No man.
Power.
No?
No, be good.
Alright.
Okay, let's go.
You like the show?
Yes.
I thought the show was
Goodbye, Sherwin outside. We're back at 27 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. This is the In the Spotlight radio show, and we go across and say good night to our lovely guest, Regina. Good night, my dear.
Good night, food eyes, and how are you today?
All right, I wanted to make sure I had the right mic for you. I am wonderful, Regina. Sometimes your day things happen during the course of your day, and sometimes you just feel the devil is at work, and you just let the devil say, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, and you just move on, and you allow, you know, things to continue as they're supposed to continue in your day. It is my pleasure to have you on the program tonight. Thank you for consenting to be here.
And thank you for inviting me.
It is my
And remember what I said to you, nothing is lost in the spirit.
Nothing is lost in the spirit. You said that to me on Saturday, you know, and I thought about it, and I said nothing is lost in the spirit. And basically what you were trying to say to me, Regina, is that at that time, whatever was supposed to happen on that day and on that time. And I just had to take it in for what was happening on that day.
True.
Right?
True.
Surely. All right, Regina, you look beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you for dressing up for me.
Oh,
I
yeah.
appreciate it. I really do appreciate
You
it.
notice that I've got some purple on.
Yes. Is there a reason for the purple?
Well, I always use purple from the time my granddaughter became a loopy. The color is purple. So whenever I leave my home, I have something purple on me. Just takes me all the way back to her.
So that is the reason why you
Yes.
wear purple for Lupus.
Yes, and
tonight.
purple for Chanel Walsh.
Chanel Walsh.
Chanel Regina Walsh.
Oh, she's Regina.
Yes.
Awesome. Really nice. Cool, Regina. Regina, I'm going to allow you the opportunity to say good night to the listeners of Q95 and to the viewers of our program tonight.
Good evening, everyone. It's nice being here this evening. Fernines have been after me for a long time, and I decided, okay, today is the 3rd of September and it's a Monday. It would have been 41 years since my husband and I were married. When he passed, we were 37 years. But I'm still celebrating my life and his life, you know, 3rd of September. 41 years, I'm there, I'm good. I've got my spirit in me.
I was a bit daunted when we were already working towards this date, and then you told me you may have to travel and you may not be here for the program. And a few days ago you messaged back and say, Fernines, I'm going to be here. I was quite happy for that, Regina.
Yes.
And happy anniversary to you, my dear.
Thank you, my darling.
I asked you if you spoke to your husband before you came here this morning.
Since morning,
Tonight, sorry.
Well, I did that from since morning.
What do you say to him?
I always feel that Gifford is in the house with me. You know, when I leave my house, I say, Dad, I'm going out. Just take care of it. When I come back, I'm saying, I'm back home.
Really?
Yes. It's like as though he's in the house.
On a daily basis?
On a daily basis.
41 years it would have been.
And our first son is 46, so you know how many years since Gifford and I have been together, or we're together.
You're going to give us that story too during the course of the program. But Regina, let us talk about you. I remember talking to you and saying, I called you Regina, and you said, Fernines, what did you say to me? I want to hear the story about the name.
Well, my name is Sotera Regina. At one time, I was wondering, Sotera? When I went to the registry for birth paper, I was told, I only have Sotera, and it's the 22nd of April. I said, no, that's not me.
That's somebody else.
That's somebody else, because I always know my name was Regina.
Mm-hmm.
But then I had to call my parents to find out if what I'm seeing is right. And my dad says to me, yes, Sotera is my name. So I had to get them to put Regina on the baptismal paper because it was already, but the registry did not have Regina.
Okay, so Regina
was on the baptismal paper
as Regina.
As Regina Newton.
Regina Newton.
Yes.
Was on your baptismal
on my
paper.
baptismal paper, but it was not on the birth paper from the registry.
So what did registry have?
A registry had Sotera.
What does Sotera mean?
Ah, well, when I lived in Canada, a Greek priest said that Sote means savior. So I said, well, I'm the mother of the savior. If it's Sotera, well, I'm the mother of the savior.
That's a good one. So by then people were calling you Regina.
It's Regina. Everybody knows me as Regina. I went to school as Regina.
And so you went to get a
a
birth paper at the registry.
At the registry.
And you're being told that your name is not Regina.
And my birth date, which I knew was the 12th, it wasn't there at all. So that's why I had to call my parents to find out if this is correct.
So what birthday did they have for you?
22nd of April. But I know that even my brother, my deceased brother, and I shared the same birthday. Also an aunt of mine, Bessie Newton, she also has the 12th of April. So I found it strange that when I got to the registry, I was told, no, your name is not Regina, and it's not the 12th of April, it's the 22nd of April. So I'm using both dates, you know.
Also, you didn't get to change the 22nd?
Yeah, I changed it to the 22nd, but because of the 12th, if I need a party, I say my birthday, my first birthday is on the 12th, and my second is on the 22nd.
I see, and that works.
It worked. It only worked for my children, not for my husband.
But do you know where the 22nd came at all? Could it have been when you were brought in to be registered?
I think that might be the problem. You know, long ago, some people have two birth dates, you know. You know, it's not, I wasn't the only person who
My
had it.
father too. My father had the 3rd and the 4th of October.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure which one is actually actual.
Well, I just had to stay with the 22nd. You know.
You just stopped with the 22nd?
Yes, I just stopped with the 22nd because my husband used to say, if I don't know when I'm born, he will not get me any gift. So I had to end up saying, okay, it's the 22nd so that I can get.
Oh my! I have a strong feeling it's the 12th though.
Of course
I think what is on the baptismal paper is actually correct.
It's the registration, I think, that went wrong. You know, when they registered the birth, they used the registration as the date of birth.
Tell us about your family.
Well, I was born in Saint-Sauveur.
Saint-Sauveur?
Yeah, that's in the east, close to Castlebrus. This is a small fishing community. I was born there. But my mom had 14 of us. So my aunt, who only had 2 children, decided, well, if that's a sister, she will have to adopt me or raise me. But even before that, I had a godfather by the name of Mr. Peterson Austry. It's Reginald Austry's father. He also wanted me because he had no children at the time.
Okay.
So because my mother was my aunt was my mother's sister, they decided on getting me to Roseau. But Reginald Austry is my god brother.
Is your god brother?
Yes, he's my god brother. And we know each other as god brother, god sister.
Very well.
Yes.
Who was from Saint-Sauveur, your mother or your father?
No, my mother is from Castlebrus, was from Castlebrus. My father really was born in Dominica, but his parents, his mother was Monstratian and his father was Antiguan. We come from the community of All Saints Village in Antigua. Okay. When you get there, you get all the Newtons there.
Okay, so mom was from Castlebrus. Dad was from?
Well, he was born in Petite-Soufrière.
In Petite-Soufrière. Yeah. All right. Do you know how mom and dad met?
Boy, it seems my father had to do a lot of crossing of river to get to the other side. Because, you know, from Saint-Sauveur, you have to walk to go to Castlebrus. But, you know, he had a donkey, so he used to use a donkey to get up there, you know. I wouldn't be able to do that, but, you know, those were the days.
Those were indeed the days. So you grew up in Saint-Sauveur?
No, when I was 6, 7 years, as soon as I was through making my first communion, my aunt took me on to town.
So you did not, so you had to go, a choice to go between your godfather or your aunt.
Right.
And your parents, I presume, opted to send you with your aunt.
Right.
All right. And so that was in town.
That was in town.
Okay. Tell us about that period, if you remember anything about that.
Oh, yes, from 7 years I lived with my aunt. She was a maid at the Dibs at the time. The Dibs store was where Joel is, it next to the Newtown bus stop. Oh. So she worked there, and we lived in Riverbank.
Dibs store.
Yes, that's a
people like
Syrian. You wouldn't know that. Syrians, I think they were related to the Raffles.
What they sold in that store?
All the same thing that you would get in a Syrian store and an Indian store. You know, clothes, everything that Astafans have, That's what they
That
have.
kind
Yeah,
of
that
thing.
kind of thing, yeah.
Yes. So you remember those things from back then?
Oh yes, because every Saturday morning I would go and do the bobber job. That means go out and get flowers for them in the market, and at the end of it I would get my little pocket change for when Christmas comes, that I would be able to buy my own goodies.
What would you buy at that time? What would be available to children at Christmas
Well,
time?
it's now your little doll.
Okay.
You know, if you need a little ponytail, pony holder.
Not those fancy
No,
things
no, no, no,
of
no,
today.
no. Nothing, no computers, no telephones, nothing like that.
Just regular
Just
things.
the regular things. And children agreed when they go out, that's what they would buy.
So back then, and that would be back in what, the 19...
Well, I was born 1952.
Regina?
Yes.
That puts you at what?
I'm 66.
No
Of course
way.
I am 66.
66 years old.
Yes, I am.
I really wondered, because you said you'd be celebrating your 41st wedding anniversary
Right.
today,
Right.
and you are
66. I got married at 25. My husband was 23.
Regina, you look well.
And my first son is 46. He'll be 46 in November. He's a corporal in the Antigua and Barbuda police force.
You look well.
Thank
This is
you.
not an exaggeration. You've clearly taken care of
Of
yourself.
course I am.
Good stuff,
And that's
Regina.
something that my husband always says, take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself.
And that's what I'm doing.
And you seem to be doing it
Yes.
well. You seem to be doing it very well. So Regina, let's talk some more about your years growing up in Roseau, and your school days and that kind of thing, your friends. What are the people you went to school with?
Well, I started at the St. Martin School under Sister Borgia. Then I went to convent under Sister Elaine. I don't think you know about these people.
I know. I've heard Sister Borgia being mentioned on here when Mrs. Levy was on. I think she spoke about Sister Borgia. I've heard a couple of people speak about Sister Borgia on
And
here.
Sister Elaine at the convent. And after leaving school, I did a secretarial course with Christian musical class. Yeah.
So you learned to be a Christian musical class. They taught secretarial courses?
Yes, that's where a young woman would go to learn to do typing
I
and
see.
shorthand.
And you learned to do that?
Yes.
You enjoyed that?
Of course I did.
You enjoyed that?
Yes, I did love it. You know.
So you learned to do that there, and then what?
Well, while I was there, I was a prefect at the Christian musical class, because within 6 months I was through with the typing, and Mr. Christian had me as a prefect there, teaching other young ladies to use the typewriter.
You became an expert.
Yes.
To the point where you were actually teaching others.
Right.
Yes.
And while there now, there was this guy, I think he was African at the time. His name was Hakim Gordon. Probably someone would know, not a young person would know Hakim Gordon, because Hakim used to walk all around the road with his hair all wrapped up and with a cane in his hand. And then he came to Christian musical class and he said to Mr. Christian that Mr. Fred DeGazzo is looking for a secretary. And Mr. Christian called me in his office and he asked me to go to Mr. Fred DeGazzo.
You were Fred DeGazzo's secretary?
Yes. Yes.
What was that like?
Well, he was a lawyer then. Yes. Very nice. And remember, I was typing, so that in itself was not a problem. He's answering the phone and just typing.
And doing your work.
And doing my work.
Yes. So you became his secretary and you stayed there for how long?
Well, boy, history was never part of my
The memory.
the memory. But after I left there, I went to work with Citrus Growers Association. This was upstairs, Dr. Green's building on Hanover Street. And then after there, I worked at the House of Assembly. I worked as the transcriptionist during the time of Mary Davis Spear, because it was typing, and as Mrs. Spear would say, she doesn't want a person with 12 subject. She wants a person to type the Hansard or the minutes of the house, and she needs that within a week and a half to 2 weeks.
So how would that work?
You listen,
Uh-huh.
you have your headphone, you listen and you type.
What?
Yes, you listen, you use your pedal and you type.
You're typing as you're
Yes,
listening.
yes, typing as you're listening. It's not like now they have the machines that you could just listen to someone and type, but at the time it would be recorded. And then I would come in and start typing the minutes.
What was that like?
Good, because if a person says you have to type
Really?
you have to put it with HM, you know, everything that the person says, you have to type it.
If the person says
You have to put AH.
if the person coughs,
You just make a note, you know. And I worked during the time of Patrick John and Miss Charles.
you did that during these
Yes,
two
yes.
prime ministers.
Yes. In 73.
Regina, that must have been interesting.
Yes.
To listen to all of that, and you would have probably gotten a good sense of what was happening.
Oh, yes.
Even if you were not in Parliament, because you wouldn't have to be there.
No, I had to be there.
Oh, you had to be
so
there.
If Parliament ends at 1 o'clock, I would be there. Myself and Mrs. Mary Davis Spear, I would be there.
You would be there.
Yes.
How would you get home?
Any one of them would take me home.
Somebody would take you home.
Would take me home.
And then
Because I lived in Pottersville at the time. So just
that's something else you enjoy. That's something you'd have liked to continue.
well, I continued with it when I left for Canada. That's what I was doing, although I didn't like up there. But I had to continue with it.
Okay, so wait. So you did this and then you left Dominica.
Yes, after I got pregnant, I had my son, you know, and I had to leave. Well, my mother then forced me in going up because they realized that I didn't want to leave Dominica. I probably didn't want to leave Gifford at the time.
We all know that's why you didn't want to leave. It's not probably at all.
I think they forced it on me.
So let's backtrack a bit, Regina. So we will come back to when you went to Canada, right? Let us backtrack a bit to that part of your life, because we seem to have skipped over it because we were talking about school,
Yes.
and then you getting into the world of work and so on. But let's backtrack to that part where you met Mr. Walsh.
When I was 16,
16.
yeah, and Gifford was 14.
Aha.
But I used to play netball and he used to play football.
Aha.
So we always used to meet one way or the other.
Okay.
He used to go to St. Mary's Academy, you know, and then I just left school. So we had the contact then, and at that time, you know, they had night study. It's not like now they have nothing like this, but they had night study, so it gave you a little chance for you to meet your whoever.
I see. You see, long time, you know, long time, huh? So who liked who? How did that work?
I think I liked Gifford more because he had nice eyes.
So you that make the break then?
Well, I don't know if it's really me that made the break. You know, his cousins used to have that shoe mending place, you know, and it was very close to my aunt's home. So if I have to go across on the other side there to get water, because you know the standpipes were there, you had to go, you know, and give a call and say hello, you know, that kind of thing. So obviously the attraction started from there.
I see. And
it flourished.
It flourished. And you all became boyfriend and girlfriend. But Regina, back then, how would you know you are boyfriend and girlfriend?
Of course, you must have a liking for somebody.
No, I mean, how does the conversation go?
Well, remember, you're in sports, you know. So everybody talking about their sports, youth, school. So obviously, when you have to leave the park, it's told you're walking home, you know.
So a little hands holding,
of course.
a little talking,
of course.
and then you agree you're going to be my girlfriend. And I'm trying to understand how it would. But you all ended up together.
Yes, yes. And when I was 20, I had my first boy.
Oh,
And
okay.
Gifford was 18. And Gifford was still at school.
Regina.
Yes, Gifford was still at school.
So you were 20, he was 18,
Yeah.
and he was still at school.
Yes, because
But-
Gifford went to school at a later age.
All right, and you were working at
Yes,
the time.
I was working at the time.
Where were you working at that particular point in time?
I was working at the Citrus Growers Association.
Okay, all right. So you get pregnant,
Yeah.
and you find out you're pregnant. What's the conversation with Gifford, and what's the conversation with your family?
Girl.
Girl, talk to me, girl.
As my daughter would say, girl. The thing about it is when I told my aunt that I was pregnant, my aunt says that I cannot stay at a home.
So you were with your aunt?
Yes, I was still living with my aunt at the time. And then she told me I have to go, so my aunt put me outside then in that case. You know,
Yes.
like parents before.
No, I
some
used
of
to
them-
hear about that a
You
lot.
understand? But then afterwards, when you make the child, they love the child more than you, that's the other child, you know. And then Vado, I don't know if you know Vado. Vado's home was close to
Ivadne?
Ivadne.
Of course, that's my girl.
Right, we were neighbors. You know, even Ivadne then came to help me to put it on the right that came to just, you know,
Oh,
you know,
my.
you don't have so many things at the time, you know,
Yes.
because it's just your clothes.
Yes.
Because remember, she took me at a very early age,
Yes.
so what can
and
I
we're
have?
very happy for that.
Yeah. But then I went to live very close to Gifford. Well, Gifford got a place for me. Eh?
Okay.
He was the one.
But he was in school.
Yes, it doesn't matter. But if something happens, he knows I'm pregnant and he knows it's for him. Obviously, he has to get a place to put me. But where am I going?
Yes.
You know, but at that time, his mom and his dad were in England. So it's only his sister that was living at his home. But he and the sister couldn't get along so well, so he couldn't get me inside of there.
Oh.
So he got me in by the neighbors on Water Lane. So Gifford lived on Rolls Lane, and Water Lane is just a gate from this home to the other home. So we were seeing each other.
I see. How did he feel about the pregnancy?
Well, at the time, he realized it would have happened because I couldn't use any form of the condoms and so on. I never liked it. So
You never like contraception?
I never. So this had to happen.
I
It did
see.
happen.
I see.
And we had a big boy, and we had Sean.
What was that like when you went to give birth?
What do you think I remember?
I don't
just,
know.
I don't
I'm
know.
playing with your brain. I'm playing with your brain.
I'm trying to think. All I know is I had Sean on the 15th of November, and he was christened on the 3rd of December, and on the 4th of December my mother took him, so that I could
Continue
continue
working.
working.
Okay. So Sean went up to the countryside.
Well, he was my mother took him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you continued.
I continued working
along
yeah.
your merry way.
Yeah.
And
So I lived with my brother then.
okay.
Yeah, I lived with my brother.
So you and Gifford didn't live together.
No. We
Okay.
didn't really live together. We
Okay,
didn't.
at the time.
At the time. It's only while I was pregnant, I was next to his home, but then my brother had a place in Pollisville. So I stayed with him there. So anytime I have to go out, Gifford has to come to ask him for Regina to go to him because, the business is ready.
Even after you all had a child?
Yes, girl.
What?
Yes, girl.
This is interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so you and Gifford continued going out, and I guess the courtship continued,
Yes.
and the relationship continued.
Continue.
And
Well, I left for Canada in 73.
73.
Yeah.
How did Canada come about, and what
Well,
was
my sister, you see, my mother wanted me out because she felt that Gifford and I, it's only Gifford and, so they wanted to get me out. But as I said, I just had my son. Where are you all taking me and send me? So when I went up there, I was just crying and crying and
Aww.
crying and crying, and then I decided, okay, That bound to stop one of those days, because I will come back down and meet my boyfriend and my child.
So how long did you stay in Canada?
5 years. 6 years, yeah.
What did you do up there?
Well, I worked with the Hartford Fire Insurance Company as a dictator typist. It's the same thing.
Again, yes.
As a dictator typist. And then I did a 2-year modeling course.
Oh.
Yes. I did a 2-year fashion modeling course at the School of Fashion in Canada.
No wonder you're sitting there like a model. Yes. Actually, Sherwin mentioned that. Sherwin said, look at the lady sitting there like a great contestant, you know. So you did that.
Yes, I did.
What was that like? What did that entail?
Well, total training of how you have to walk, like training of a carnival queen, you know, how to talk. It had everything engulfed in.
Which we will hear later on how that came into play with you becoming a queen maker.
Yes.
As well, because you have quite a few queens.
Yes, I do.
Under your belt. What was the reason why you came back to Dominica?
I came back because I was fed up with like my sister getting on at me and so on. So I just decided, you know what? I think I'm going back home.
You would have been in your early 20s.
Yes. And then when I called Gifford and I told him, he says, Reggie, just come down and we'll just get married and finish it. So
that's it.
And that's it.
So you and Gifford remained together even if you were away for all this time?
Yes. Gifford and I remained together, although he had 2 children during the time because he was a hot boy.
You said it, Regina.
Yes. You know, he had 2 children he had 2 children within a year.
Really?
Yes, he had a girl and a boy within a year. But they're real nice. I mean, we had our little differences.
Which is natural,
but real good.
Because of course you would have probably not been happy about that and so on.
Very
but
good.
You would have come to learn though that it was not the children's fault.
No.
And that you couldn't hold that against the children.
No, because as I said, if I had gone out and had a child while I was in Canada and I had come down with a child, I would have liked him
to embrace
the child. You know, and then I just spoke with my maker and you know, nobody had to tell me no or yes. It's only through divine mercies, and I just decided it's okay. And then we got married.
You got married?
Yeah, I got married in 77.
In 77. Tell me about the getting married part.
Well, we got married early Saturday morning at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, while early morning Saturday mass was going on.
How does that happen, Regina?
Yeah.
I thought.
No, you wanted a small quiet wedding, you know, so we had it. My mother, my deceased mother, Gifford's mother, my father Gifford, the person who signs for Gifford, and my son, you know, and Patricia Coffey was there as well.
Pat, Kate, sister Kate.
Yes, she was there.
She's a good friend.
Yeah, because I slept at her home the night.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And we got married the early morning. And then we couldn't have really anything in the afternoon because Gifford was playing football for Kensborough and Kensborough was playing against Harlem and I supported Harlem at the time.
No way.
Yes, I never supported a Roseau team. I was raised in Roseau but never supported a Roseau team.
Even if your husband, Gifford was not your husband, was playing for the other team.
Oh yes, I always supported Harlem. Always supported. When I go to the park, the Kensborough fans would say, Regina, you know where you have to sit.
Go somewhere.
You know it's up there you have to sit.
Oh my.
Yes.
That would have put you in a bit of a bind.
Well, I realized that, and even the Sunday he played for Kensborough against Harlem. And even on that day, we were vexed for some time ago because he scored a goal for Kensborough.
Oh my.
And I'm on the stand saying, offside goal. It's an offside goal, he scored. My husband up yesterday.
Regina.
Yes, it's my team. It's my team.
Well, that's hardcore support, huh?
Yes.
That's a hardcore fan.
I said, that's my team. You scored an offside goal. Then after the game, the Kensborough guys came down by us for the drinks now because, you know, they couldn't come this Saturday. So you can see how far I would go for my team.
Yes, absolutely. Good stuff. But it was a wonderful day for you all.
Oh yes, oh yes. It was.
What has life been? What was life like with married life with your husband?
Oh well, life, it's not a bed of roses. It's never. You'll always have, no matter, even though you have a mentor who comes to you and talk to you about life, life is what you make it, you know, and you have to compromise at times.
And you learned that
And
through
yes,
marriage.
I learned that through marriage. One thing that Gifford's mother said to me, or before she passed, Regina, never leave your home for Gifford. If you and Gifford have a problem, solve it, but don't try to leave your house and go. You know, she always used to say that. You know.
And you listened.
And I listened. And I
You-
listened well.
You would always resolve
Yes,
whatever
yes.
issues, whatever
Yes.
challenges, whatever
I
problems.
mean, we've gone through many challenges, you
Of
know,
course.
but then we were back, and
Yes.
even before he passed, these were the best years of mine.
That's good.
These were the best years. So I do not want to think of those years, the bad years that I had, the differences. No, but I'm thinking of the last 5
The
years
last 5 years.
that were
Good years.
That were good, and that's why when I get up in the morning, I can get him and say, "Morning, Dad."
Yes.
You know, just say.
You call him Dad?
Yes, I call him Dad, and he called me Reggie.
Great.
But if we have a talk, it's Gifford.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Regina.
If I was him, I would call you Sotera. How many children did you have?
I had 3. Sean the first, that was before we were married. And then he's a policeman, as I said, in Antigua. And then I have Gifford Jr., who is the state lands officer. He's a surveyor. And only one daughter. This is mine.
I know that.
She is married to Devon Smith, the
Yes.
cricketer from Grenada, and she lives in Grenada.
That's Rain.
That's Ray.
Yes, she has a beautiful name
Yes,
too.
well, that name was given to her by her brother, Junior, Gifford Jr.
How he came up with that?
Well, he was 4 years and he was at the preschool, and it seems they were doing phonics. He came home, played with my stomach, and he says, there is Wayne, and he spelled Wayne, W-A-Y-N-E, and he says, there's another boy named Payne, P-A-Y-N-E, so I realized it's phonics they were doing, sounds, and then he says, Mommy, if you have a little girl, name her Rain. He says, I said, Rain. He said,
Rain.
R-A-Y-N-E. I had other names, you know, but when I heard Rain, I just said, okay, that's it.
And you kept that.
And we kept it. And everybody loves that name, Rain.
It's a beautiful name.
Yes, so
It's a
he was the
beautiful
one who named his sister. He was just 4. And he said, Rain.
name. You had a beautiful family.
Yes.
Regina, I'm gonna have to talk to you a bit about a time in your life when probably it could have been the most challenging and the most difficult time in your life, but I'm grateful to you. You said you will talk to me about it. You have no challenges. I'm talking about it, and I appreciate that. You know, because probably not everybody would want to recount that moment in their life, and I don't know if you've done it in a public sphere as yet. You know,
Well, some people say they find I'm too strong.
Yes. See, well, I guess he gives you the strength too.
I think so. I think so.
He gives you the
I
strength.
mean, there are times that when I'm home, some water runs.
Of course, you're human.
Of course.
You're human, and you're talking about somebody you were with for 37 years. Well, not
married,
even 37.
almost 50 years.
Almost 50 years, almost half a century. You know, so I mean, obviously, there are days. That's all you've known.
Yes.
That's basically all you've known. You know, and so one day, it would change your life forever. And what day was that, Regina?
It was a Saturday. What happened is, Gifford got up. We got up and we went to the market. We came back home and he had to go to the airport to drop a cousin of his. And he asked me if I wanted to come with him. But I told him no, because we had the West Indies women cricket tournament in Dominica, and I being the coordinator of women's cricket and also the manager of the team, I had some things to do. So I told him, I think I will stay because I have some bags to get printed. So he left. I cooked the broth as usual on a Saturday and he left. But during the day, a cousin of mine from England was here. She was the captain of England netball team. And we were going up to Pageants with her in Sanseville because there was some relative that she herself did not know because she was born in England. But you know, waiting for the ride to take us to Sanseville, you know, the person said that they would come in at 12, and 12 came 1, and 1 came 2. I said, you know something, I'm just not going to Sanseville again. So I decided to come home. But on a Saturday I would go by my friend, Mrs. Brown, would have a few beers, you know, but I just went straight home. And I went in my room and I fell asleep. And Rain was there, but Rain herself was in her room and she fell asleep. And then it was later, usually when Gifford goes out, Rain would call him and say, Dad, where are you? You know, and then you'd see him under the, you know, under the cliff coming. But that Saturday, none of us called him.
That's odd.
Yeah. But then she said while she was in her room, you know, her phone went dead, so she charged it. But then when she came back from the washroom, she seen so many messages, you know. When she picked up the phone, a cousin of hers called and told her that Daddy had an accident. So she said, so what should I do? Wake up Mommy? Because Mommy resting in her room. Wake up Mommy? And then the person said, no.
What?
The person said, no, Rennie, I think Uncle passed. So, girl, that was what? Nobody knows when Rain is in the house because she goes to work and she comes back in her room, back to work. But that day, I think everybody in Seymour Bolivar heard her scream. So they said, okay, something happened by Mrs. Walsh. And then people started calling and calling and calling and calling. And then she was shouting, no, not my daddy, not my daddy.
By then you were off.
By then, I'm hearing the noise that the person was trying to come in my bedroom. But as though I thought that I was dreaming. But then, you know...
Was your bedroom locked?
No, it was just pushed.
Okay.
But you know, she's on the phone and she's trying to open the door. And then I'm saying, that Rita, it's not a dream, man. And I got off. I'm listening and then I'm hearing her and I hear her about and I said, Ray, what happened? And she said, something happened to Daddy. And then this real bawling started.
Oh my God.
People came. Just imagine, you know Stockfarm Road because you were there on Saturday. Everywhere was blocked. Everywhere was blocked.
People coming to your
People
home.
just come. And then Shillingford called and he says, don't worry to come down, he will come down when they've taken the body and so on and so forth. And my niece Shannon Newton, she's married to Mitchell Williams, Shannon says she's coming down to meet us.
Tell me where it happened and as far as you understood what happened.
Well, I really don't know. I wouldn't know. I know two vehicles, he and another vehicle collided. And it's very close to Mapuchery. As soon as you leave Ben's home and going up, well, somewhere around there, it happened. But every year we go there and we put a reef.
Every year?
Every year we go there. We have a little drink there, you know, and we stay around there for a while. We say a little prayer there.
You have a chat with you?
We have a chat, yeah. We either go to the cemetery, lay a reef at the cemetery, and then go down there and lay a reef.
Do you remember what state of mind you were in
Boy,
on that day and the days that followed?
Oh, well, on that day, well, you see, we had support. You just imagine Pastor Sarah, he lives very close to me. So Pastor Sarah came, prayed with me. Pastor Rodney also came. So I had the support. I had Father Martin, Father Thomas, they used to be coming.
Did you accept what had happened?
Well, I said it's God's will, let it be done. If it's God's will, let it be done. Because at no time could I say why. I just said it's up to God. He alone knows because dead men tell no tales. You know, and you never know who was wrong in the instance, you know. Gifford was dead, the other guy was alive. You never know what he could have said, but I just thank my God, you know.
Did you have to go and identify the body?
Oh yes, we had to do that. The same night we did.
Mm-hmm. The
Because
family?
Yes. The thing about it is that Gifford must have died about 9:30, but they took the body out from the area about 1 o'clock because they said that the ambulance wasn't there, you know, and for them to come in and take the body and to take him back to the hospital to pronounce him dead. So to us, we know he died on the Saturday, but because he was pronounced dead after
the wee hours of Sunday morning.
Yes, so they have it on the death certificate, like July 20th.
Do you know if he died on the spot?
Yes,
impact?
he died on impact. Where the vehicle went, the vehicle fell over.
The vehicle fell over. Do you remember what the day of the funeral was like?
The other funeral, well, you know, families start coming in, and, you know, but it was Mr. Lennox Lawrence. He's a very personal friend of mine, and he had the service carried live. Yes, he had the service carried live, and I was the one to give my children support.
Yes.
Because, you know, I would think all of them are the ones, you know.
Sorry, Regina.
Oh yes, I always think of it.
Tell me about him.
Who?
Your husband, what he was like.
Gifford was a...
I see the tears starting to come down, so I wanted to start talking about, you know.
Gifford was too good to be true. You know, too good to be true. When he did anything, I would get it. You know, there are so many you think you would ask for something and you would think, no way. Not that Gifford. And he loved his children.
He loved his children.
And he loved his grandchildren. I don't think he was giving his own children a chance to take their children to school. He would leave home and just go pick them up, take them to school, you know, so.
It's okay, Regina.
It's all right.
Yes, it's okay. What did he like? What did he enjoy doing?
Cricket.
Cricket.
Yes, and having his little drink with his makushri, with his cavaliers. You know, cricket was his game. Although he played football for Dominica as well, you know, he played football and cricket for Dominica. And he was also a football referee. So he was a referee together with Billy Doctorow, Josser, Monroe. You know, these are the persons that were the referees at the time.
What was Christmas like and those kinds of holidays like at your home with your husband and your family?
Well, Christmas, Christmas is a season I don't really like. Gifford loved Christmas because he thinks that he can put up all this, his Christmas tree and get the children around, you know, but I would just move with the time, you know. But Christmas wasn't the season I like. You know, buying the gifts is all well and good, but my season was Carnival.
Carnival.
Yes, Carnival.
What do you miss most about your husband?
Going out. And he wouldn't be afraid to do what he has to do. He has to hold me wherever he would do it, you know. I miss the times too. Yes, oh yes, I miss the times. You know, we'd have our little talk, but I miss the times, you know.
Which is normal.
Oh, yes.
Regina.
Oh,
Tell me one marriage that doesn't have, you know, its own ups and its own downs, you know. So I mean, in my view, that's normal. You know, that there will be challenges and there will be difficulties, but you loved him.
Oh yes, I loved my husband. When I tell you I love him, just imagine some people would meet me and they say, "But my Walsh, you still have your wedding ring on?" I said, "I didn't realize that I had to remove it." I said, "Did I tell you all that I was out searching?" I'm not searching.
You're not searching?
No, I'm not. And I love having my own ring on my finger.
And it
has been there for now 41 years.
That's a long time, Regina. That's a long time. That's a long time. But how do you cope on a daily basis, you know, as time goes by? It's been, what, 4 years?
Yeah. Well, the children always keep in contact. You know, Rain calls me every day. Junior comes to see me. Just imagine when Junior comes home, he would say, okay, mommy, I live here, close your door now. You know, that kind of thing. But my children are my support.
But you are strong.
Of course, I am.
You are very, very strong.
And I have my God in me. And I have my own faith, you know, and I pray to my God. If I'm feeling down, I talk to my God. Because He is the one who have me on my feet.
Regina Walsh, in the Spotlight radio show. It is 13 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock. Regina, thank you for sharing that part, you know, with us. I know it is probably not the easiest thing to reminisce on or to go back and speak about. But you did, you know, agree to share that with us, and you remain strong enough. You know, I expect some tears to come down because you're talking about somebody that you were with for close to half a century, and to have lost the person in that manner, you know, it would be something that would touch you deeply and bring you to tears when you talk about it.
Because it also happens also when I call my granddaughter's name, because a year after Gifford passed, she herself was diagnosed with lupus.
Oh.
Because she stayed about 37 days in the ICU in Guadeloupe, you know, and then she was there in October and she came out of the hospital in December. And then the following year, 2016, my son sent her down to see us, because remember the last time we had seen her was at the hospital in Guadeloupe. And then when she came in, and the day she was ready to leave to go back to Antigua, the lupus flare came on her. So we had to take her up to the hospital, and she stayed there for two weeks.
Do you at this time, you know, say, why Lord?
No.
I lost my husband last year, and look at what is happening to my granddaughter.
Oh no. Everything that happens, I give God thanks and I give Him praise. Anything that happens, I give Him the thanks and I give Him the praise, because I cannot question my God.
How is your granddaughter now?
Oh, she's much better. She teaches at the Catholic high school in Antigua.
Okay. Really?
Yes, she went to the state college and she graduated with high honors at a 3.96 GPA, and she's teaching at the high school in Antigua.
Somebody says you're a brave, strong woman, Regina.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break, and then we're going to talk about some other aspects of the life of Lady Regina.
All right.
Keep it locked. We're coming right back. This is the In the Spotlight radio show.
In the Spotlight on
Sorry.
I know that.
In the Spotlight featuring
It is. But look at the lady, 66 years. Are you kidding me? Do you exercise?
No, I do a lot of walking. I'll walk from Stockholm to Roseau. Sometimes I'll just walk, sometimes I'll take the bus.
No limitations, no restrictions, no holds barred. In the Spotlight will also spotlight interesting topics, issues, and relevant situations. Don't miss In the Spotlight on Q95 FM radio every Monday night from 8 p.m. In the Spotlight.
Science and dice.
Okay, let's see if we can get it. me, she loves King Dice and Sai. These are among her favorite Calypsonians. I wanted to give her a little something just to cheer her up before we continue the conversation. A little something for you there, Regina, as we come back on the program. And so you like King Dice and Sai?
Yes, King Dice and Sai.
Among your favorite Calypsonians?
Yes, King Dice and Sai.
And that means you go to the Calypso shows?
Oh yes.
And enjoy them?
I do.
Alright.
And they know that.
They know that?
Oh yes.
Alright, let me just say, acknowledge the Dominican News Online, Innovate Multimedia, Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited, Q95 FM, the folks that assist us in being here on Monday nights. Thank you for the support that you provide. And so, Regina, you are very much what we refer to as a community leader. You're very well known in your community, and you support your community in whatever way that you can. How did you get involved in community work?
Well, ever since I started living in Simo Boulevard, this is in 1989, I've been involved with community. Because I love meeting people and helping people, it was easy for me to work with them. And in 97, I was nominated a councillor in the Roseau City Council.
Nominated?
I was nominated by the United Workers' Party.
Okay.
As a councillor.
Oh yes, because when there's elections,
Yes.
there's a certain number that are elected, and then the government
Right.
is allowed to nominate. Yes.
So I was nominated. Then after the first 3 years, you know, the people says that Mrs. Walsh, but it's you is saying, it's you that must go up and represent us. So this is why I went up and I topped the polls then. And I continue topping the polls in my area.
In your area?
Yes. And my area is Ward 4. It was Ward 4. It comprises of Lower Goodwill, Stock Farm, Foncollet, Gutter, Tarish Pit, Yampis. Yes, it's a very large ward.
And you topped that
Yes.
poll every time?
Yes.
How many times did you
I
contest?
raised it four times.
4 times?
Yeah. No, 3 times.
Three
Three times,
times.
and there was one that was elected unopposed.
Unopposed?
Yeah, because only 2 persons that went at that time.
I see. Tell me about the work that you do in your community and you know, this whole community spirit that you seem to have.
Well, when we came up to Stock Farm, the first part I started was with the playground, the children's playground. It was during the time of deceased Pastor Bill Daniel. He came to me and he said that there was a group from Calgary, from the University of Calgary, Alberta, that wanted to put up a playground in a community. And then I know there was a piece of land that was designated for a park for the young children in Stock Farm. Then we spoke about it. At one time, it was felt that houses were going to put there. But then we decided no houses were coming on this playground. And I remember sending out a petition to each household in Sima Bolivar, asking them that we should get this playground and not houses should be put there, because as a matter of fact, from since '89 we were living there and nothing was done. So we did get it, and the playground, that's where you came in on Saturday and you saw it, although it's not cleaned yet because of the heavy rains, and the young men are doing work outside of there, but hopefully by this week you should see the difference in when you came there.
And the playground is actually in the, the children use the playground.
Yes, not only the children in Sima Bolivar, other people come there with the children. When there is clean, other people come there.
Let us talk about some of the other work that you do within your community.
Well, what I do, I help, well, when I was a counselor, I used to help with 2 needy children in the Fokoli preschool. Every month, when I get my stipend from the Roseau City Council, I would deposit some money in this account for 2 needy children.
While you were a counselor?
While I was a counselor.
So some of whatever it is, your salary or whatever it is that you pay,
you get.
a stipend.
Yes.
And I'm sure it's not a big stipend.
No. It was just $240.
$240.
Yes.
And you used from that to help 2 children.
Yes, and if anybody stops by me and the person says that they don't have anything, I will still use that rest of the money and give to them.
So that $240 was not for you?
It was nothing.
It was still for the community?
It's still for the community.
So 2 children you supported every month. At what price each child?
Well, the monthly fees were $75.
So 75 times 2?
Yes.
So about $150.
$75, I would give $50 so it could cover at least.
I see.
Yes.
So you contributed to that?
I contributed to that.
I think that was awesome. Yes. And I suspect if you got more, you would have given more.
Yes, even now, even when a person stops by me. Up to yesterday, a lady came to me and she says that she has some medication for her to buy and she needs an extra $20. And I just told her, hold on a while.
You went in your purse?
Yes. And I still gave her some things for her to cook because she says that she was hungry. I just went in my kitchen and just set up a bag and give to her. And that's what I've been doing all the time. Anybody comes by me and the person says that, Mrs. Walsh, what do you have now? I always have. The God that I serve always gives. So I always give in return. I always...
What was it like being a counselor?
As a counselor, you have to do work in your community, and I used to make sure that the areas are clean. Like if I notice there's bush or trees, I would inform the council. I would call them and let them know, send someone to pick up some garbage that has been there for a while, and this is part of our being and our doing as a councillor.
Ivadne just commented there. She said everything you said is true. Vado. Good night to you, Vado. I wasn't sure that I didn't see you come. I've not been seeing you commenting, Vado. I thought you stopped listening. I suspect not. Vado always listens to the program. Good night to you and all of those who are listening in the diaspora as well. So outside of that as well, Regina, you have also been. By the way, let me just ask one further question. Yes. So you are involved in local government, because this is local government. Did you have any plans of taking it any step further?
No, I didn't. And I'm also part of REACH, the organization that look after the elderly.
I see.
Yes.
So you spend time with them?
No, whenever REACH gets a container and they have things, I send to the communities.
I see.
So I have someone designated enough to distribute. So I get it, I call them and tell them, come and get some things. Sister send some things to me, come and get it.
And you give it to
and
people.
I give it out, yeah.
Wow. You do have a good heart. Very, very good heart, Regina. And even with the passage of Hurricane Maria, you got very much involved as well.
Yes. After Maria, just imagine I had a box of rubber boots, and that box of rubber boots was for me to give to send out to another area, I think, that wanted it. But after the morning of Maria, I just had to take the boxer boots and give it to the people around who were walking around, because with all that wire. And what I did is, like 2 days after Maria, I got 2-3 persons to go to each household to check to see if there were sick people, if there were people who were injured, and the numbers of persons that were in the houses. I did that. We did that as a matter of fact. And this was easier to get to the people who were or who had to distribute the food.
It was easier to understand what you would send to what you would send to this household, that kind of thing. So your home was used as a distribution point?
Yes, my home was used for distribution point for the government relief, also for the Red Cross and for the church. Yeah, but I gave up the government relief. But I stayed with the Red Cross. They would call me and say they have tarpaulins and they need the number of persons who live in my area. Already I had the list, so it was easier for them,
Can you put on your headphones for me? Let's see if we can take some calls for Regina, and we'll continue talking a bit more with her. The numbers are 4493095, 4493096, 4493097. If you would like to touch base with us from outside of Dominica, you can do so by dialing 305-432-9624. Hello, good night. Good evening. Hello. Hi. How are you, Unwanted?
I working with the water after everything, and I started to the gospel room.
Oh.
I had to pause because that story is really true.
So you left Salisbury and you found yourself working for Mrs. Walsh?
Yeah, I was actually so looking for.
You were doing what?
I was because she was saying really, and then I was driving.
Okay, so how come you didn't come to look for me?
But I also look for you.
Yes, dear. Good night, Unwanted. I didn't see that coming. Okay, Regina? Alright, we can take some more calls for Regina. 4493095, 4493096, 4493097. Our overseas line is 13054329624. This is the In the Spotlight radio show. Good evening. Hello.
This is funny. How did you think of that program? So interesting program.
Oh.
You're one right. I love this program.
Thank you so much. Well, again, I always say to people, I have quite a list of persons, that I would really like to bring on the program, and I really hope that, I can get to bring everybody, and Regina was one of those persons that I have on my list. And I remember I met Regina on 2 occasions already. I said, Regina, we have to do the program. I would really like to bring you on the program with me. And we met again recently at the Cycling Association's OECS Cycling Championships, and we had the conversation again, and then she told me, okay, Fedines, I will do it. She told me that her anniversary was coming up, and that if she was available, that she would make the time to be on the program, and there she is. There is a lady, I want to have on this program as well. Her name is Desiree John. Desiree, I am just putting this out there. I would really like to have you a guest on this program at some point in time, and I do hope that you will agree to be a guest on the In the Spotlight radio show. I just wanted to throw that out there. Hello, good night. Hello? Hello? Okay, just feel free to give us a call back as we continue with our conversation here with Regina Walsh. Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening today, and good evening to Regina and good morning.
Hi, dear.
I met met with Walsh when she had first got off from Madam Woodley, and she's such a class lady when she was from London. I just want to see she's a special person. Be strong, be courageous. I love you to the max, you know that.
I know that. Thanks much.
All right. Good night to you. Thank you for listening as well, and we appreciate the compliments. Hello, good evening. Hello. I hope we're not having an issue with the...
Hello.
Yes, good night. Hello. Hi.
Hi, Vado.
Fine, Vado. How are you, my darling?
Hello, Vado. Oh, it's very good.
Okay, Regina,
Yes, my dear.
when she was younger, because she said it with my older sister Sandra. And let me tell you, Regina has gone through a lot really for Gifford. Regina, remember when she was an Anna?
What?
That's why I said you will be my friends. Oh yes.
Right, and you know what? Oh boy, but we had really good time out there.
Younger than them, but Regina went for a lot. So she had this real watch at the time. But again, I tell you, she's a good community person.
Also, she is very good. She's loving, she's nice, she's a nice girl. And she's been like that ever since when we were young people. Okay, I will listen to you and hold tight.
Thank you. Thank you, Vado.
Thank you,
missing
Vado.
missing you in Stockpile.
Thank you, Vado. All right. Somebody wants to... Yes, Vado. Okay.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Vado. If you're not able to call, you can always send a message to WhatsApp number 275-7565, of course 767 before that for those of you outside of Dominica, and I can share it and relay it to Regina. Hello, good evening.
Hey, good evening today.
Hello, good evening.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
When I call you through that one good time, I'm very Harry, but
I tell you.
Regina.
Hi, good evening.
Yes, and I told you for quite a while. As a matter of fact, I grew up on the riverbank.
Okay.
And I live by the state, you know.
Right, that's my aunt. That was my aunt. Yeah.
Coming back as a young boy, so my mother is Shabby.
Okay.
So I live lower down from
From Vado.
yes, from Vado, exactly. From Vado.
Yeah.
And I want to see a great program tonight, and you have always been the person that I know you to be. I mean, from a little boy to now, you have never changed. So continue what you do, what you do best, and I wish you all the best.
Thanks much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much for calling as well and contributing to the program. As we continue to take some calls, we'll continue chatting with Regina. So somebody mentioned Madame Wob. What is that about Regina?
Okay, Madam Wob in 1989, Vina McDougall. She was the one who was running this.
Oh yeah, she's been here.
Okay.
I had a program with her.
Okay, and I think she won in 88, and I went up in 89, and I won in 89 with You Get Giro. Was my first runner-up then. So I did win, but I was just about 39.
Oh,
yes.
You were a young Madame
I was
Wob.
a young Madam Wob at the time.
Okay. Somebody messages, hi, good evening. I am Rain's best friend, Shama. Shana. Is it Shana or Shama?
Shana.
Sure, she wrote Shama. I'm sorry,
Okay,
maybe her
okay,
typo.
okay.
Let her know all her girls are locked in. Mother of the chronic girls. And they send this big, pumping heart as a way of letting you know that they love you dearly. So that's a WhatsApp message coming in there for you.
Okay.
And again, as I said, you can WhatsApp 275-7565 if you would like to send a message instead of calling. Good evening.
Good evening, Banana.
Hello, good evening.
How are you?
I am well.
then I can tell you she's full of time. So that's something new to me. And she's very faithful. She's a very nice person. Up to today, we feel good. Have a good night, Reggie.
Thank you.
All right. So somebody talking about your loyalty, I presume, as
Yes.
well, in this instance. Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening tonight, and how are you?
I am well, my dear. How about you?
I'm doing good. I'm listening to the program, very impressed.
Okay.
That's what you keep reaching out, you know. Never can forget watching. This is my boy.
Oh,
I know that's my boy, Veronique.
and we lived in the same yard.
Don't listen to your radio. Listen to us. Yes. So she was saying that you all lived in the same yard.
Yeah, we did.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And we had a light script up with shit.
Mm-hmm.
Religiously.
Mm-hmm. And you've been on this program as, of course. And Madam Wop to Madam Wop
Yes.
too. You won Madam Wop, she won Madam Wop. Yeah. She says that's so sweet. Good night, my dear. Thank you so much for calling us. She's listening to the radio. She's listening to the radio. 4493095, 4493096, 4493097. The overseas line is 305-432-9624. And we are live in studios tonight on the In the Spotlight radio show with Regina Newton Walsh. We definitely, she said Newton remained with her for a while until the Walsh came in. And somebody else sends a message. I love this lady. The person didn't say who they are, but they said, I love this lady. Hello, good evening. Hello. Okay, feel free to call us back. Somebody says, good night for dance. This is Miss Daly. Not brave enough to call. Give Regina my regards. Miss Daly, how are you? I hope you're recuperating well, by the way. I knew that you were in hospital, and I hope that you're much better now. Let us take this call. Hello, good evening.
Yeah.
Yes, good evening. Okay, your radio is on. I didn't quite. Did you understand what he said, Regina?
Yes, he spoke about hacking gun. That's the same guy he spoke about that came to Mr. Christian to ask.
Okay. So that's the Rasta
Yes,
dude.
that's the, yes.
To ask for Mr.
Christian,
Degazo.
Degazo,
Yes,
yeah.
so you could work for
Yeah.
Mr. Degazo. Regina, we're going to talk a bit about your passion for pageants, and it started in Canada.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, you did modeling. We went to modeling school
Yes.
for 2 years, and it kind of taught you what you needed to know to help young ladies who participated in the Miss Dominica pageants, and I presume other pageants as
Yes.
well along the way. Why did you get involved in chaperoning?
Well, I've been doing the chaperoning all the time, and most times when I have a girl, I want to know the girl that I have is a show winner. When I came back from Canada, I think the committee at the time wanted me to train the girls, but I think I preferred training a particular girl. You know, my training is for a particular girl.
Mm-hmm.
I want her to be different from the others.
Right.
And that is where I started training girls.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I trained Elitra Ducre from Wesley.
Okay, I don't remember.
She was 1981.
1981. No, I
Yes.
probably would not. I was small.
Yes,
young.
yes. I think so.
I probably would not have remembered.
And
that
then
person.
there was this girl from the Carrot Territory. I think Atkinson she was from.
Uh-huh.
Her name was Anthea Burton.
Anthea Burton.
Yes. This was in 1982.
1982.
Yes. I had
Wanda Salo.
yes, I had Norma Roll.
I remember the name Norma Roll.
Right.
So wait. So these are queens. These are people who won the title of Miss Dominica.
And these are people that I trained.
You trained.
Yes.
You selected in some instances.
Yes. Well, some of them came to me.
Okay.
You know, that's how they do it. They come to me and they say,
yes, but they can come to you and
yes.
you can say,
and I can say, okay.
I'm sure you may have done that a couple of times.
I did.
Yes.
Yeah. And then after Norma, it was Sandra Brown. And I trained Sandra I was pregnant with Rain when I trained Sandra.
Sandra.
Yeah.
And that's Sandra?
Sandra Brown.
Sandra
she was
Brown.
the first queen who got a car as a prize.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these are your queens. You
Yes,
have more?
I have more. I have, after Sandra Brown, I have Marcella Larocque.
Oh, you worked with Marcella?
Marcella is home girl.
Yes.
You know, Marcella's sister, her daughter's godmother. So after Marcella, I helped also with Martha Augustus.
Martha Augustus. She now has a pharmacy.
Right.
Yes.
Kimani Felicity.
Yes.
That was
my girl.
This she thought that my house was hers. When she would come there, she would just throw her keys and she would tell Rain, you're not only the daughter, you know, that's another daughter. You know. So I had Kimani, I had Charlene Richards.
I remember Charlene.
Right.
Yes.
I worked with Charlene and I worked with Cayenne too.
Cayenne too, sir.
And I worked with many first run-ups too, you know. I had Norissa Newton.
Some who came pretty close.
208, yeah, and I had Dana Augustine.
I remember Dana.
I had other run-ups like Laurel Ansel.
From Point Michelle. But she
but she was from Salisbury.
Yes.
And I had Dana Shillingford, who works at the National Bank. Yeah.
So you have
Yes, I've got.
You have some. You can say you're a queen maker.
Yes.
They say Pat Aaron is a king maker.
He's a king maker.
Well, you're a queen maker.
And I did that with the Miss Wobbs as well. Joan George.
You had a few Miss Wobbs.
Yes, I had Joan Sandy Hussein. Right. That's another. And Rosemary Vidal, she is Britain now. She works at Scotia. This is another queen of mine. And there was a Kalinago.
Oh yes, I know her. This girl, yes.
Right. And there's Miss Sanford, a Sanford girl from the Kalinago territory. She also was one of my Miss Wobbs.
You have a talent. And I presume when you meet with talented people,
yes,
you also, it just works well together. It just works together.
That's my forte. So I would not be able to work talent with you, but I can teach a person how to walk. And I think that's the best thing.
Somebody was just reminding you, don't forget Sandra Brown, but you mentioned Sandra Brown.
When
Rain was almost born.
Almost born, yes.
Said.
Yes, what happened, Sandra came in the usual afternoon for her training, and they told her that I'd gone up to the hospital. So when she won, it was about, the Queen Show was the Friday, she came up to see me. Yeah,
she won for you.
She won, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And Queen's Reign, and your daughter's name was Rain. There you go. Somebody says, good evening, Diana, just sharing with you here, Regina. Let me just get that going right here. Good evening, Diana. I don't know your guest personally, but just want to thank her for sharing her life story and being an inspiration tonight. Thank you. And the person wish you God's blessings as well. Let me see. Good evening, Diana. Lovely program. And Miss Daly there says she's doing much better. She says she's all emotional remembering Mr. Walsh. Mr. Walsh. The In the Spotlight radio show with Regina. Let's take this call. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello. Okay, please feel free to call us back. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Diana.
Hello, good evening.
Queen Diana. I'm Queen Regina.
I'm Queen Maker Regina.
She's a queen of queens.
Yes.
One thing I mentioned was the musical
Liquid Ice. Rhythm for Liquid Ice.
For Liquid Ice.
Yeah.
And Regina accompanied many
Aha.
She was there as a chaperone.
Yes.
I just wanted to call
To mention that. All right. Thank you for that. Let us talk about the cultural beat as well, Regina. You're also involved in culture.
Yes, I am one of the founder members of the White Okoguli Dance Theatre.
Really?
Yes. It all started about 79. I danced with Raymond.
I would love to see you on stage again.
I've asked Raymond to bring the old dancers. He hasn't done that.
Raymond, we need to do that. With you, Raymond, and all those, formative members, those founding members, come and put on a show for us or incorporate you in the annual presentation. I would enjoy that.
I told him so. I've been saying that to him every time he laughs and he says, "Oh yes, Regina, that is true."
So you've been in that, and
yes.
any other cultural
yes,
things?
and the Timazado, well, Jacinta deceased and myself were the ones
who started it.
Yes. And I even forgot one other queen that she started with me, the one from Granby. Byron, is it?
Francine?
Yes.
Oh,
Francine
really?
started. Francine was our first Timatador.
Aha, that is true. She did take part in
she was our first
Timatador.
Timatador.
So she had it making
Yes,
in the making there from then.
Yeah.
Let's take this call here. Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening today.
Good evening.
Regina, good evening.
Good evening.
Great program.
Thank you.
Auntie John.
Hello.
Hi, Sonia.
Yeah, we go back a long, long way. She didn't mention the netball days. So we go back a long, long way since netball days. And we've been friends for like forever.
True.
Sure.
She's a very beautiful woman because I'm not sure if I would be able to handle that aspect of it.
I know. I know.
You're really grateful. I know that. But life goes on.
Oh yes.
And just cherish the good memories that you have.
Oh yes.
You're a very nice person of your Lord.
And you're one of my supporters, my life support. You know that.
And tonight,
Yes, dear.
I have to go, right? But I decided to take that one.
Well, you need to listen, my darling. There's some very good programs. In fact, next week I have a gentleman on who's been a teacher for over 40 years, I'm told. Teacher Abraham. I think his first name is Raven Abraham. So I think it should be a good program. Okay. Thank you, Auntie Sons.
Okay, thank you, Auntie Sons. All right.
That's my family too, by the way. Yes. All right. Bye bye. Yes. So she spoke about the netball days.
Oh yes, we played netball long ago together. This is Alma John, Kulslati, Medina, Mara-Louise, Sonia Phillip, Jean Dixon.
But you're still involved in it today.
Yes, because I'm now the interim president of the Dominican Netball Association.
Mm-hmm. Have you been involved throughout since your days of playing netball?
Yes. And I also was a captain of Coca-Cola Saints netball team.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you've been involved in quite a bit. And as we talk, we take some calls as well. Hello. Good evening. Oh, hello. Good evening. Hello. Yes. Good evening. Go ahead. You are.
Regina. Actually, Regina, I remember writing in the new code. Let me show you how to see my.
Yes. That's Mr. Irish for sure.
Culinary arts because that's the best actor I ever had.
Oh yes. No. Yes, first cousins. His first cousins were okay. There were two sisters during, but she's now based in Canada. Oh, thanks much.
All right. We are going to just take a quick break, and we're coming right back. This is the In the Spotlight radio show. Okay, probably we could just take this caller before we do that. Hello, good evening. Good evening. Regina, what was that about?
It's just a slang.
A slang.
Yes.
So you know who you were to call him that slang. So that's all the person called to say. Alessala. You're special. We're coming right back. Keep it long right here on the In the Spotlight radio show, right here on Q95 FM radio.
In the Spotlight on Q95 FM radio every Monday night from 8 p.m. In the Spotlight, featuring people from all walks of Dominican life, spotlighting their triumphs and tragedies, dreams, hopes, aspirations, untold stories, touching the human and personal side of our people in politics, religion, sports, business, music, culture, the media, and more. Getting to know our farmers, our public servants, youth, and the ordinary Dominican. Listen to their stories. No limitations, no restrictions, no holds barred. In the Spotlight will also spotlight interesting topics, issues, and relevant situations. Don't miss In the Spotlight on Q95 FM radio every Monday night from 8 p.m. In the Spotlight.
One-on-one with interesting personalities, educational and informative topics and issues, intriguing and entertaining. A must listen to In the Spotlight, Monday nights from 8 p.m. on Q95.
Calypsonians, so I just wanted to play something there from Psy for Regina. Hello for Dines and Regina. That's her What Is Lane lady, Professor's mom. Tell Regina she brought some tears to my eyes earlier. We work together sometimes. Love you, girl. And she said she loves the In the Spotlight radio show. Thank you for tuning in. Somebody else says, hi Fedina, congrats to my gold rim sister and also my sister in crime. All you said about you is factual. Best wishes in your future endeavors. Love you, my sister, from Helen Shona. Also a male Henry in Stockholm. Okay. Oh, Si, you're just too much. Regina, you've won a Golden Drum Award, and you were some time ago featured on Smile Patrol.
Oh, yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, a morning, my husband came and he said there was someone we had to meet at the 40th Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to have breakfast, but I know that we had met with this guy already, and Gifford had already said to me that the guy had left like during the week. But then, you know, I was preparing my cricket because it was around the cricket season. While I was there, he called again and he says, the person that we had to meet, the person was late.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I said it's okay because I have my cricket things for me to do, and you know, you're really keeping me back. Then it was about 8:30. While I was inside, I saw when Gifford comes to me and he blows outside, he used to run outside, you know, those men don't like
to wait.
And then I was saying, okay, I'm coming. So as I opened the door, because the door was locked and my bag was on the door, as I opened the door, here comes Janik Delma.
Mm-hmm.
She said, Regina? I said, Mr. Wagner, I think it's Gifford telling me, you know, we have to meet somebody. She says, well, it's not Gifford meeting anybody, it's me meeting you. So they came in and she said that to me that because of my work in the community, in sports, in culture, people recommended me to her. Mm-hmm. And she took me out for 2 days.
Yes.
She says, well, sorry, it have got no more cricketing for you to do today.
Oh.
Today, you have to be with me. And then she took me to, and all the cameras around there. All the cameras. But it seems rain, everybody knew about it.
They would have all been on it.
Yes.
Always the case.
Yes, they were all on it, you know. And the thing about it, usually when I wash clothes, you know, I open it in the back porch because I know if I'm out and the rain is coming in, it's best I put it there.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the morning Gifford got up and he was washing the vehicle outside, he kept on saying, I'll take off the clothes now. And I'm saying, I want me to take off the clothes for? The clothes still wet, you know, that kind of thing. But he thought I was going to put the clothes somewhere else. But I mean, I didn't know anybody was coming to my home, so I left my clothes out in the back porch. You know, and then she took me out to Anchorage, and then we stopped in at, where is this place? On Cock Street. The last place, the one before the last place was at Anchorage to go on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
So she says,
you went whale watching?
Yeah, she says, you know what first to do, you and Rain and myself, you know, we're going on the boat, we're going to take a swim. They stopped me a place to get swimsuit, everything, you know. While we walking to go to the boat, she just says, I think you better turn, you know, because when I turned around, I noticed all family there. So they had already planned everything for me. And in the ending now was to take me to Picard. I slept, when we came in there, she says, we're going to have a night out, both of us. I said, it's okay. She says, you think I should stay with you? If you really wanted a person there with you, who would it be? I said, my husband, you know, if my husband can't come, well, it's Rain. You know, she says, okay, let's go inside because I want you to call your husband. As I open the door, who should be sitting there than Gifford? You know, and the cameras all on me, and next morning I get up and cameras on me on the beach, my husband and I on the beach. You will say it's 2 young children that, you know, but it was good.
Teenagers.
But it was very good. I appreciated everything.
Good stuff. Yes, I think you deserved everything as well. And you won a Golden Drum Award?
Yes, for pageantry.
For pageantry.
Yeah.
I mean, after making all those wins, you know, you definitely would have to win to get a Golden Drum Award. And I hope there are other awards in the future for you as well. In terms of, there's the Meritorious Service Award, there is how many of those other national awards. I do hope that people like you deserve your recognition.
Well, someone says to me that I was recommended. So
Okay.
it's just
This year? For this year?
Yes, for this year.
Okay.
So I'm not too certain what's gonna happen.
Okay. So you get recommended and there is a selection process.
There would be a selection.
And then you would get a letter
I would think so.
advising you
I would think so.
that you're getting is it for which award that you were nominated the meritorious?
I think it's community or something like that.
Okay, there's different ones.
Yes.
Okay, well I wish you the best with that one, Regina, and I do hope that you win, you receive one of these, not about winning, you receive one of those awards, because I think you most certainly deserve it. Regina, let's take a look back at your life. As you sit in this chair today, how would you summarize your life?
How I would summarize my life is to be with my grandchildren. And I'm hoping that not in the distant future that I'll be having a granddaughter or a grandson from my daughter.
You want some more?
Yes, I do need some more. Right now I've got 5.
You have 5?
Yeah, I've got 2 in
Antigua. But not yet from Rain?
No, I've got 2 in
Oh my God, Rain! Like I'm going to say, girl!
I'm hoping, and just to be the person I'm always a community person. You know, I just want to be myself, and I'll continue to be myself. I will never. Sometimes, you know, Rain herself would say, "Mommy, you love community too much. You know, I want you with me, and you thinking about stuff." But you know, just listening to people. You know, when some people are down, you should be the person to try to lift them up.
Absolutely.
And I think it's a talent I have from God to help people. And I don't think I want Him to take that away from me. I want, when I'm gone, it's gone. But right now, I think I have something to share, and I want to continue doing what I used to be doing.
So how do you think you want to continue doing that as your life continues here on this earth?
Well, as long as I've got life, I will continue doing it. As long as I've got life, I will continue.
In what format? Through counseling?
Well, I do.
Are you going to continue being a counselor?
Yes, I do a lot of counseling with young people. I have never gotten any professional training, but because of me having my children and dealing with my children, a lot.
It is not too late. Remember what I said at the beginning of the program?
Yes, a lot of young people come to me and they talk to me, and I know how to deal with them.
You're getting some support here. Tell her I'm waiting too. We're hoping for our child. Hint, hint to my best friend. I have a couple text messages here for you as well. Regina, okay, let me see if I can get that. Somebody says, hey Regina, we are tuned in. The Hendersons are tuned in. I presume you know who they are. You have good evening for Dinah. What a lovely program. Listening. So a few messages coming in there for us on 275-7565. Somebody says, hello Fidina, sending love to a very special lady. Aunties, remember to add the S on the end, because she's more than one auntie in that one person. And that person says they're actually listening from New York. So quite a few listeners here, quite a few viewers as well on the lives. Yes, we have the live on my page plus the one on Q95. So we have quite a few people who are viewing and who are listening, and we are very grateful for them. As we're getting ready to wrap up, Regina, is there anything that you would like to share with those listening out there, those who are married and who are very young in their married life, those who've lost a loved one, those who are at a point where, you know, thinking, where do they go from there? You are still here and you're still going to continue. So let's start off. Go ahead.
I must say, life is worth living, and you live your life. Now, even with the DAPD, I do a lot of work with them. Anytime they had their shows, you know, Sister Nat would just call me and I would work. And some people would say, but Regina, how do you deal with people on a wheelchair How you can train a person on a wheelchair to glide on the stage?
Yes.
You know, but it's just looking at their faces, you know, it's the inspiration and it's the love. You know, when they come in and, you know, when they come in, the way they hug me and they greet me, I think that is all I can share is love.
All they are differently able.
Yes.
That's all, but they're quite capable.
But they are very capable. You know, so someone who has lost a loved one, you have to take it to God. You cannot take it to man, you have to take it to God. And you have to think of...
Man will be there to provide the
yes,
physical support.
That's the physical support, but when you need the support you need, you go to God in prayer and you let Him just take control of your being. You know, I've been there, and if I've been there, you can do it too. It's because in God, we all just.
Are you happy, Regina?
I am more than happy. I'm a very happy widow.
Very, very happy.
Very, very, very happy widow.
And you live life to the fullest
every day.
Day.
Because I've got some friends who are always around me, you know, and there's a personal friend, I must call their name, is Billy and Anthony the doctor. These people, they the same way my children call me, that's the way these people, you know. I can even tell you when Gifford died, Billy couldn't stand up by the door. Billy came to see me and Billy don't even want to come inside, you know, but they have...
He was feeling your pain?
Oh yes, and I think he had a service the next day and I think he broke down at service, you know. So these are people, you know, and even the Cavaliers, some of the Cavaliers always call me and say, you know, how you getting on, Regina? And, you know, just
that's
the support.
Important and that's good.
Just the support.
Appreciate it.
Yes, and I have another girlfriend by the name of Fatima Jolly. I don't think Fatima would have stayed in America and know I was going through that pain. Fatima did come down, and when they called me to say, Mommy, guess who's home? Fatima. I said, what? I'm taking back. You know, when she came in, you know, the support that she gave to me, so many people. My Auntie Neva, so many people. They were just there for me. Because they realized, well, okay, Regina, you just lost the person who have been your number one, you know.
Your other half.
My other half. But life must go on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's take this final call for the evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Hello, good evening. Regina?
Hello. That's Gifford's friend.
Ah.
I'm glad the last person to call.
Yes,
you're there.
Oh, yes, Kevin.
Hello?
Yes, you're listening to yourself.
Hello, Kelvin. Listen to the phone, not to the computer.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, listen to me. Listen to my voice, not to the computer.
Yes, I'm listening to you.
All right, go ahead then.
Good night.
This is Kelvin Phillips.
I know it's Kelvin.
I'm just about to listen to you, enjoying your program.
Thank.
And that brings a lot of sad.
Oh yes.
Kelvin? Okay, Kelvin. Thank you for calling us, Kelvin. I think we got the gist of what Kelvin wanted to tell us. Somebody says, Regina, hi, good night, very good program. Reggie, you were at your best, and that's from the Ulysses family.
Oh,
so just some folks there, yes, just touching base with you and ensuring that you know that they're tuned in and they're listening.
That's
Mel's family.
Yes,
yes.
family.
Yeah. You work with Melcy too?
Yes, I also work with Mel.
You work with Melcy. You work with Melcy. Oh, is Sai still playing? Oh, no more Sai there for us. We getting ready to wrap things up on the program for tonight on the In the Spotlight radio show with Regina Walsh I enjoyed the program, Regina.
I also.
I hope you did as well.
I also.
And I hope
it helped to
a little therapy for you.
Yes, a little therapy.
Oh, I'm happy that we were able to provide that for you tonight. And again, thank you for dressing up for me. I really do appreciate you dressing up for me. And by the way, Jenny, we owe Regina a bottle of wine. And anybody who wants to, feel free to send Regina something special for her anniversary today. You can feel free to make contact with us, send it to me, whatever the case might be. But I know for sure we'll be getting you a bottle of wine from Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited, so you can have with Gifford.
Oh yes.
Maybe by the weekend.
By the weekend.
Okay, Regina.
I'll do have it.
All right. Thank you. We're gonna get some final comments from you, and we're getting ready to wrap up.
Okay, Ferdinand. When you asked me at first, I thought, I don't think I want to come on this program.
I know you want it less,
but then, after listening to other people on the Monday nights, because I always listen to your program, always listen to your program, I decided, you know what? My life story is on a page. This page is there, it's all written, and I just decided that I just wanted to do it for you. So thanks again. At least other people knows, and there are some people who know who I am. They know the person I am, and to all the listeners and all the callers, I say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Regina, if I knew you were a little bit hesitant at the beginning, that is why I kept at it, and I try to do that with my guests. I do not have too many people who've said no to me. A few have said, okay, maybe not yet, maybe later on, that kind of thing. But I'm happy that you consented to be here. And I always say to people, if there's anything I try to do with this program, is to in some way impact others. Impact other people's lives in some way or the other, inspire, motivate, give people hope, help people, make their dreams become a reality, even if it's just by hearing somebody else's story. I put myself in the spotlight for a few minutes earlier on, and again, it's not something that I'm doing because I want to be out there. Absolutely not. I've told people I have no reason to want to be popular or to bring attention to myself. I was on radio for 9 years, national radio, and once you're on national radio, I work for the biggest telecommunications provider in Dominica.
And you are the name.
So I do not need this. So when I do things, there's always a reason and a purpose behind it. When I say things, there's always something behind it in terms of getting a message or something across. When I bring people like Regina on the program, there is a reason, there is a purpose. Every guest that I bring onto this program, there is some kind of reason why the person is there. And it's always to inspire, to motivate, to give hope, to learn from the person, sometimes in some cases to learn from their mistakes, or to learn from their successes, and to see how you can also succeed from what they've been able to succeed at. And that is always the purpose of what I do. And I thank God for blessing me. I thank my dad God first for giving my father the gift, passing the gift to me, I thank him every day for that, as I continue to do what I know how to do naturally.
And I told them to listen to my life story, and they did get my life story.
They did get your life story, and I thank you so much, Regina, for sharing with us tonight. Thank you for Kadisha for being here with us as well. Thank you to Innovate Multimedia and to everyone who supports us with this program. It is going to be even more difficult now with the new addition I've taken on in terms of my studies, but I'm going to try my best as much as possible to commit effort to being here as many Monday nights as I possibly can.
I think people look out for that.
They do. And I appreciate everybody who listens, and I really thank you for listening, and it really gives me the encouragement to continue doing it. And I promise that I will try my best to always be here to do this for everyone.
Because last week I thought the show, and when I called you and you said it's a tit.
Yes, because I was not at work. I was not at work last week Monday. I was not very well last week Monday. And so obviously if I'm not at work I cannot be here. So I had to rerun another program last week, Monday night. So this Monday coming, I will have teacher Abraham. Okay. That's a gentleman who's been a teacher for a very, very long time. And one of his former students inboxed me and said, you need to, and he inboxed me maybe about 2 months ago, it's been a while. And I said, you know, I need, just as the school year is beginning, that I bring on Mr. Abraham onto the program. So tune in next week Monday, it should be another good one. And also those of you whom I asked for your suggestions, read the suggestions for the issue, the crime situation here. Thank you for your suggestions. I'm really going to try my best to get this program going in the not too distant future, so we can come on, talk about some solutions, talk about some causes, talk about whatever we can do that can help. With this, I had Dr. Seja inbox me with some information, and we have quite a few suggestions for guests, so we can do this. So we really will be looking towards doing this program pretty soon. Thank you, Regina, again. Love you, my darling, and thank you for being here. Thank you, listeners. Until next week, Monday, do have a good night.